All righty, we're on. Let me see what I got here. Yep, I got sound. Okay, now we're cooking. Now we are cooking, maybe. Exciting stuff. This, well, there we go. This is frequency in use. Say it again. Is a frequency in use? Didn't think so. This is K4PEW net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? If there was, I'd be shocked. If there's anything you have an emergency in the midst of this wonderful enterprise, just bump in and say, hey, I need help, and tell us where you are. Don't hesitate to do that if you ever do need help. For information on this stuff, you can see our website at 146415.net, 146415.net. It's .net on the end of a non-decimal 146415. You can also watch us right now on YouTube, which is you can either find us on. I just sent a link out earlier today on the web, on the email system. Or you can just go to YouTube and in the search block put in either my call K4PEW or Brain Trust's channel. I don't think you have to put on channel, but you'll see the ham radio stuff on Brain Trust as one word, BRAINTRUSTS. It's a plural. Brain Trusts. The singular was already taken. And what else? Oh yeah, you can also see us on Yahoo groups at MJ_SS. That's Mike Juliet's _Sierra Sierra. Or you can send me an email to Kilo for Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. And we normally meet at 8 o'clock every Wednesday night and Saturday night. And as usual, we're on 146.415 FM Simplex, where we've been for the last over 4.5 years now. Purpose of the net is to support and train ham radio operators for emergency communications. But in doing so, we just simply do it in a casual way, having fun, make a local community kind of tuned into each other and having fun meeting each other. And I kind of think that's where ham radio really is. It's all local. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events, activities, and training and support of the local community. Is there any announcements? Well, we have Ham Quest coming up. That's July. Everyone should know when that is. That is July 20. Ouch. I think it's July 22nd. Pretty sure. No, that's something else. July 27th, July. That's what it is. It's 8 a.m. till 2 in the afternoon. July 27th. You want to make sure you get there. We also have the club, the Wilson Amateur Radio Club, is also doing a field day, and there'll be some announcements on it where that's going to be because it's not for certain where it is, but a field day coming up, and that's the last weekend in June. And then, of course, we have today is Saturday, so of course we have that on Wednesday, and we also have, of course, the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club also does an Aries Net. Well, there's also the Aries Net. The Wilson Emergency Management Agency has a net Tuesday night, and I'll make an announcement on it as well. An email. Yeah, an email. Anybody have any additional stuff to put on the air here? Nothing heard. Well, we had a great breakfast this morning. That's another of the big announcements. I don't remember whether we had 11 or 12, but it doesn't really matter. We had a good time. Nice little breakfast. Nice little get together. The bigger crowds, the better, but We've had as many as 20 something, but this is also a holiday weekend, being Memorial Day, and of course today's the day we honor those who gave their lives in support of this country and supporting freedom and democracy. Anybody other announcements before I move on? Or questions? Corrections? All righty then, we shall start. Today we're starting from the west, and this is episode, so to speak. This is net number 487, and a nice, I just did a quick calculation. It's really a rough one. But since we've started the net, we have somewhere around 6,500 check-ins total. That's not all different check-ins, but 6,500 times somebody somewhere has checked into this net. Seems like a lot of people. Well, it's a lot of check-ins, not a lot of different people. It's probably a couple hundred people. All right, then. We shall start from the west, west of Mount Juliet Road, west of Mount Juliet. Please come in.
Hey, it's 4 CJF.
Hey, how are you doing out there, Rick?
Doing well, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing great. It was good to see you and Michael this morning. You got to come in for quite a stretch to come into that breakfast.
Yeah, it's well worth it, man. Good people, good people. It's good to see everybody. Michael, he's listening, but he can't check in tonight. His handheld battery problem.
Battery handheld. Wait a minute. That's what he was on, the handheld, or was his main rig busted?
I think he just let his battery run out.
Well, he's not usually just on a handheld, is he?
Just not to you tonight.
Oh, I got you. Very good. Well, it's too bad. It's his loss, our loss. All right, very good, Rick. Good to have you in there. That's Rick, Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet Foxtrot, and he is over in Ashland City with his brand new X700 antenna over there on a fairly good elevation. I don't know who else can hear him, but who else we got? Wow, a good signal, Rick, and you're doing fine. It was a little bit, a little buzz in there today. I saw some of that on another station yesterday, and it's like a buzz, but it's not from you. It's from, I don't know whether it's from power lines or what, but I don't hear it on everybody, but I hear it on some distant stations. All right, who else? West, please come in.
WY4G.
Hello, Jeff. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Just kind of tired. And I talked with Alan earlier. He wanted me to check him in, so go ahead and check in W4EAC.
Aha. Yeah. In fact, I had a question for him if he did check in, but one of the fellas needed a rig checked out, and I don't know if he was up to doing that stuff.
Yeah, he's getting around there a little bit with what he can, what with what he's going through. But he's doing a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, I know he's recuperating. He had some pretty tough times there on the health-wise. So, yeah, it's not feeling well and not being well stinks.
Oh, yeah, been there, done that. So, I know. But other than that, nothing much going on here. Just been busy. I do have to work Monday. But it's just, that's the way it goes. So I don't mind.
Well, as long as they're paying you, are you getting, do you get time and a half or double time for the holiday?
Double time and a half.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, the only problem with overtime, and I think you already know it is, it's not time you can give back. If you were, you had something else going on or something important in your family life, and you can't retrieve that time. That's even though you get double time and a half, it's good money. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, but for me, it's just another day because I don't have kids or anything, so it's just my wife, she don't, I don't get see mine. So it's just par for the course.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, hope you have a good light work day on Monday for sure. I don't think it's too busy that on Monday's what you do, is it?
It all depends. It can be. But Memorial Day will probably be a little bit busy.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, very good. That's Jeff. He's in Madison. Good signal. That's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. Doing just fine over there in Madison. Who else we got? West, please come in. We'll come back to it. West. Okay, we're going up to down to the south of 40. Please come in.
KN4 MPV.
Hey, I was mobile yesterday, and I heard you. My mobile rig is awful on the little through glass antenna, but I heard you on a 9-1 machine.
Yeah, I bet you did. was on it today to help the guy put a tower up there in Gainesboro today.
Oh, cool. No, I could barely, I was just barely hearing what was being said, and then I heard your call, and went, oh yeah. I think you were on your way to work, maybe, because it was about a little after 4 yesterday.
No, I took off yesterday and Monday too, so made a 4-day weekend out of it. So I wasn't on the way to work, but I don't know where I was, to be honest with you.
Well, you think you're some kind of trucking executive taking a 4-day weekend?
Yeah, I think after 25 years there, I deserve that every now and then.
Oh, I agree. It's so true. Yeah, having a 4-day weekend is nice when you don't have them all the time. I know when I managed the shop in Tampa at a hospital, somebody else said, hey, why don't we try this? I said, what's that? He goes, why don't we do 4-day work weeks, 4 10s, and we'll work the schedule out so that it works out good. And then we'll all have 3-day weekends. I mean, it was everybody but me, so I let them do it.
I copied that, Paul. Sorry I missed your breakfast today, but plan on being there at that number one of the month next time, okay? Catch back up there. And definitely wanted to say salute to all our veterans and armed forces, both past and present, and also to you and your wife, Paul, for your losses this close to Mother's Day and everything. I know that was rough. And, a lot to go through there, man. You will be honored for all the work that you did there on that. Just do good work. You done good work, man.
Yeah, very good. You just reminded me when you said that about the veterans, etc. One of the things my mother did in her life was she was in high school during World War II. She graduated in 1945. She didn't have any family members in the war, but I don't know what part of who coordinated this. It might have been church. I'm not sure, but she actually wrote. She had 2 or 3 guys in Europe who she wrote to as a pen pal to support the activities in Europe during World War II. So she was directly involved, and some of the guys sent her gifts and souvenirs from Europe. It was kind of cool. She never did meet them, but she talked to them. I mean, she wrote to them all the time.
Yeah, I kind of did. Well, also, if anybody's on the HS on 40 meters, 7213, they got a special Memorial Day check in there. Also, it's got a special call there, K1A, on that, and they can give them a check in there. Give their condolences to those guys. 7213 on 40 meters. The station's called K1A Special Event.
Yeah, I got you. Very good, Terry. Terry just passed along. They do have a special event on 40 meters on 7213, and it's the call is Kilo 1 Alpha, and it's just celebrating or memorializing those that died in World War II. Well, in all wars, really. Doesn't have to be World War II. That's the one I think of the most. We lost somewhere around 350,000 men in that war. All righty. Of course, we lost 50,000 or so in Korea, and we lost another 55,000 or so in Vietnam. So it strikes home for all of those who have lost people or knew people who were lost in those wars. All right, very good, Terry. Appreciate you checking in. Appreciate the information. Who else we have south? And we're gonna be slim tonight. Nobody else saw the 40? Please come now. Hey, David, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing very well. I don't know how many, and does it count how many was killed in the war against the States?
Say that again. How many were killed where?
In the Civil War against the States.
Oh my gosh. That number is astounding. I don't remember what it is, but every time I look at it, it amazes me. I think that because on both sides, I don't remember. Do you know the number? Because I forget.
No, I don't right offhand, but it was a lot. Basically what you do anyway, sir, is teach everybody else. That was great. Appreciate the problem.
Yeah, and it's a good point to make. I forgot about the Civil War and also the War of 1812 and the Spanish-American War and the First World War. it's really funny because I would highly recommend if you want a nice little walk through and see some interesting sights, and that's go through a cemetery, a Civil War cemetery here locally, and see a lot of the war dead, and you just can't believe it. You know, it just and you realize they were giving their lives for a cause they believed in. So it's doesn't matter whether it's the North or the South. All righty, David. Good to have you in there. Kilo India 4 November, Delta November, and he's in Reedyville. Who else out the 40?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Yeah, very good. How you doing, Larry? Sound good?
Doing good, Paul. Glad you're there tonight.
Oh yeah, no, having a ball. Just I guess a quick follow up. I'm still. It's kind of funny. You feel a little lost because I was so on a leash kind of with my mother, and so now I don't have that leash, and I'm not sure. It's like the dog's been tied up for the last 3 years, and now if you take the leash off, you don't know he doesn't know what to do.
It takes some time. We'll let you get on with it, KE4 SYV.
Yeah, good to have you in there, Larry. That was Larry. Great signal. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor in Rockville. Who else saw the 40?
K1SP.
So you like that beer versus water little commercial, huh?
Oh, that was so funny.
I thought it was too. I didn't know what to expect, quite honestly. Did you?
No, I sure did. And to answer David's question, 620,000, 750,000 deaths between 1861 and 1865.
Is that crazy or what?
Yeah, that's just a couple.
Well, it makes even World War II seem like a minor skirmish at least for us, because we lost 350, around 350,000. But now you look at the Russian deaths, it's like 1 million.
Oh, yeah. I forget the total number of deaths during World War II. It's just astronomical.
Yeah, and that doesn't include the purges of Stalin.
No. Nope, nor all the ones that Hitler slaughtered.
Oh man, don't even get me started. It is amazing though that well, you know, I think it was Stalin who said that. He goes, one death is a tragedy. You know, 1,000. I think he said 1,000. 1,000 deaths is just a statistic.
Interesting. Oh, well, back at it, Paul. K1SP.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Scott. That's Scott. Kilo 1 Sierra Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. He's in Laverne. It almost messed up that word there. Good to have you in there, Scott. Sound good. Who else saw the 40?
Oh, one more thing. I won't make the sideband note. I've still got that radio packed up for travel.
Okay, very good. Who else saw the 40? Don't forget the sideband net later for everybody else.
Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Bravo Papa.
Good evening, and I've forgotten your name. Sorry about that. That was Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Bravo Papa. What was your name? I'm sorry.
Jesse. I'm in Woodbury, Tennessee.
Very good, Jesse. You can normally hear Jim down there, can't you? Or did I ask you that before?
I seem to never turn on Simplex. I'm always on 9-1 repeater.
Aha. Well, how are you copying me tonight?
Oh man, you're looking good on this gimbal. I mean, you got a pretty full scale on me.
Oh, you must have a really good antenna up there in Woodbury.
It's a Comet GP9, so it's about 12 foot off the ground.
Well, you must be at because some of those spots, I know, you know, some of those spots down there in Woodbury have pretty good elevation too.
Well, I say I'm about as low as I can go. I have flood insurance.
Yeah, if you need flood insurance, you're not at the top of a mountain, that's for sure. Very good. Are you hearing anybody else? Were you able to hear Scott before you in Laverne?
Matter of fact, my friend sent me a text that says get on 415 Simplex so that you were taking calls for my area, and so I jumped on here to give you a check-in.
Oh yeah, no, very good. It's nice to have you in there, Jesse. And you're welcome. We're here every Wednesday and Saturday night, and been here doing this now for a little over 4.5 years. Be coming up on 5 in September, I think. So it is 4.5 years right now.
Very loud in Laverne.
Ah, very good. Scott's here, and you're very loud over there in Laverne, there, Jesse.
Oh, thank you, Scott. I didn't get him. Of course, I think this radio talks better than it hears. K4 BBP.
Ah, very good. Yeah, very good, Jesse. Good to have you in there. That's Jesse, Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Bravo Papa, and he's in Woodbury, and a good signal. And not hearing as well, he says, but he heard my signal pretty darn good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, very good. That was Jesse, Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Bravo Papa in Woodbury. Who else south of 40? Moving over to the east, then we'll come back on late check-ins. Moving over to the east of Mount Juliet. Please come in. East of Mount Juliet Road.
November 4, November Yankee Alpha. This is Dale. Good evening.
Hey, Dale. I was thinking we're going to, being a holiday weekend, I think we're going to be a little short on check-ins today.
Yeah, sounds like somebody cleaned out Wilson County. There's probably, I would think there's some more out there, but anyway, if not, I'll represent Wilson County, or the west of Mount Juliet Road, at least Lebanon size things.
Yeah, very good, Dale. A question came up in a discussion I had earlier today that I was wondering if the emergency management agencies, aside from the repeaters and the simplex frequencies you guys would monitor or use, do you monitor any of the FRS, GMRS frequencies?
Not at this time. There's been some discussion about doing just that. So I'd say stay tuned. That may be forthcoming here before too long.
Well, it occurred. I've heard that before from other people, so to speak. Those discussions that obviously there are people out there who have CB capabilities, and obviously and I just wondered if there would, because it would be not difficult, but you'd have to actually lay out. You say, here's the GMRS channel, and here's the FRS channels we monitor, or because you can't certainly monitor. Well, you could scan them all, but you almost want to have a channel from all three of those groups to monitor, so everybody knows where to meet you.
Right. Yeah. Right now, I've got all the FRS stuff programmed into my radios, and I've got them on a separate scan setting, so I can scan for those anytime I need to. But we probably should think about some kind of a formal monitoring of at least one frequency, but maybe all of them. I just don't know right now what the latest discussion is on that. Well, I'll probably may find that out the first of the month.
Yeah, I got you. No, I was just asking. I didn't know if because I don't know that I've heard of any agencies who do that, but I just wondered if it was something they wanted to do, given the fact that we've got. I'm guessing that 50% of the Bofang radios that do FRS and GMRS are in the hands of non-licensed personnel to begin with.
Yeah, no doubt. I've got one myself with all the frequencies programmed in. But I would say there's a lot of people that aren't licensed and probably never will be, but they use those frequencies.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought it would be. It's one of those deals that if somebody's able to communicate and you're able to hear them and you're able to help them, then all the better. But I can't imagine a whole lot of traffic there, because I just can't imagine, because somebody who's got one of the FRS handhelds, he's not going to be able, and he's in Mount Juliet, and he's not going to be able to talk to you over in Lebanon. It's not going to happen on whatever it is, 2 watts or 1 watt.
Don't forget the MURS frequencies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the MERS as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's something to think about. But we'll have to, like I said, first of the month when we meet, first Wednesday when we meet, we just might discuss that some more. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you informed.
Well, yeah, it's worthy of discussion. I'm not sure how fruitful that would be, just because of the fact that people would have limited ability to reach you directly, especially on the FRS. And so, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like local hams all over the county would have to kind of monitor one of the FRS bands in some way, just to kind of make continuity. But even that is catch as catch can, because not, how would you work up a schedule? Who's going to monitor what frequency and when? It just gets a little. I guess we'd have to scan them, like I just said. Well, very good, Dale. I'm glad to have you in there. Just asking questions. Obviously, I don't. I'm not trying to point you in any particular direction, because it just adds more work and more volunteer activity required to cover those kind of things. Anyway, that's Dale, and he's the EC for Wilson County Emergency Management Agency, and that's November 4, November Alpha. And Dale, appreciate you being in there, representing all of Eastern Wilson County. All right, who else is next there? I heard Richard in there. Richard, east of Mount Juliet.
Kilo India 4 singing in the barn. Good evening.
Well, you could be singing in the basement.
I could be. It should be, probably. Glad everybody showed up to do their breakfast this morning and enjoyed that, and hope everybody had a good day, but beyond that, hope it didn't get too hot.
Now, my wife says, "You going to mow the lawn?" I go, "Yeah, when it gets cooler." She goes, "You mean September?"
Right.
No, I said later in the day when the sun starts to go down. And it wasn't too shabby. I went out at 5 o'clock. It was great.
Yeah, I've been sitting there on a buddy of mine, Sadio, talking to him and his wife this afternoon, and it was pleasant as it could be. And we had some good conversation.
The only thing we're lacking now is a little bit of rain. It's starting to get pretty dry. Lawn's looking a little dry after I mowed it. Parts of it that don't get watered well, or that aren't well, they're not in good soil anyway. All right, very good, Richard. Good to have you in there. It's good to see you at the breakfast this morning. That was Kilo India 4C singing in the barn. It's Sierra India Bravo. Who else east of Mount Juliet?
KN4LXH.
All righty. You can't get up. You don't get up at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I got there late this morning, so you could have showed up. Jimmy.
I'm sorry, you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should use your call or your name, but yes. You're close enough, man. You're closer than me to over there to the restaurant.
That's true, I am. But I've been busy working on my my push-up mast. I finally got the 20-meter beam assembled, and with the rotor just below that. And I realized that once you get a large beam like that and a rotor like that, you come in at about 48 pounds, and then each section of the mast is another 10 to 15 pounds, and pretty soon you're pushing a pretty heavy load up.
And a top heavy one at that.
Yeah, it is top heavy, but as long as it's guided properly, it'll be okay.
Oh, I meant top heavy when you're trying to lift it, when you're trying to push it up.
Oh yeah, that's my problem. I'm trying to figure out a way to do that.
Well, usually it's going to take some help and somebody pulling from the other, from at least two other angles, from the other side.
I was thinking about trying to construct some sort of a jacking mechanism out of an old farm jack that I had. I don't know if that'll work or not.
Well, whatever you do, get a video of it, so it should be fun.
Yeah. You can watch me scream as it falls on top of it.
Well, you just need, and then you can put up the what do you call it? You put the label on the whole assembly as Acme, Acme antenna raising system.
Acme antenna raising system.
Well, it's Acme in the realm of Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, I might try that.
All right, very good, Jay. You sound good. Are you hearing many people tonight?
I'm hearing most people. The previous guy to me, I didn't hear him very well though.
Yeah, there's a little bit blocking. There's actually a ridge between Richard directly toward your direction. There's a ridge directly to his east, so it makes it a little tough for him. And plus, he had to lower his antenna due to a tree issue, so it makes it even tougher. Well, very good, Jimmy. Good to have you in there. That's Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel. He's right here in Mount Juliet, north of the high school. Who else east of Mount Juliet is coming in? Well, your signal really got low. Are you doing low power tonight there, Stan? Ah, that's a handheld. 5 watts it's supposed to be? Very good. We had a let me think of his call in the second. Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. He's down in Smyrna. He had a handheld. No, he built from scratch a 4-watt transceiver, and he was operating it down there in Smyrna. And I said, that's great. I never saw anybody build a 4-watt, FM transceiver. I'm sure they have before. I think there's some kits out there, but he was 40 over to me from Smyrna on 4 watts, and you're doing less than that. But I think it's just it's a location issue really, because Smyrna is real easy for me. No, he said he built it from scratch, and so I asked the obvious question. I said, "How much did that 4-watt transceiver cost you?" And he says about $70. Well, that's like everything else. The fun is in the doing, not in. Yeah, you can buy a Bowfang for $25, but that's no fun.
That's true.
All right, very good, Stan. Good to have you in there on your handheld. I don't know how many other people can hear you besides Richard, but that's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. That's Stan on his handheld on his outside antenna from the north side of Lebanon. Who else? It's good to have you in there, Stan. Who else east of Mount Juliet?
Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't see you this morning. I was expecting to see you and your lovely wife there today.
We were inbound coming back from Kentucky.
Ah, okay. So you were out of town, actually out of town.
Actually out of town. I'd rather been in town, but that's all right.
No, I understand. There's lots of things I'd rather be doing this last couple of weeks. I know what you're saying. So how you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah, outstanding. All right, very good, Jeff. That's Jeff over in Lebanon. He is Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie, and there's a very good signal tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I moved the tenor a little bit over, so I think it'll help overall.
It is helping. I mean, you're doing. I think you're. I don't remember. I should probably keep a log, maybe, but your signal, your audio is very good tonight.
Thanks for the good report. Appreciate it.
All right, very good. This is K4PEW at the Mount Juliet Simplex Net. Who else we got? The east of Mount Juliet. And we're moving to the north of Lebanon Road, north of Mount Juliet, anything north, including Kentucky. Ah, you must be on your way back from the meeting.
No, I'm actually going out somewhere in Old Hickory.
Ah, okay. Is that what you call your car?
It could be. It's old enough.
Yeah, very good, Frank. It was good to see you this morning, you and your wife.
Yeah, it's nice to see you guys. It's my first time there. So, I don't know. The jury's still out.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. It was the first time at that restaurant is what you meant, right?
Correct, yeah. I've never been there, even though it's 5 minutes from the house. We tried to go there, but they were closed. And so.
All right, very good. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite place, but it's convenient and the food's decent, Anyway, that's Frank, Kilo Bravo 9 or Romeo Kilo. He's mobile tonight. I don't know where he was, but where are you mobile, Frank?
Old Hickory, just south of the river, going northbound on basically off of 45.
All right, very good. In Old Hickory, going northbound. Very good. That was mobile, and again, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo, Frank, mobile. Who else north? Please come in.
WB0 and OO.
All right, I got it. KB0 and OO. I did get that right, didn't I?
Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. You were close.
Yeah, but no cigar. No, when you started to transmit, I was writing it down, and it was like I don't know, there was a double or there was where I did something, but I didn't catch the first, and like a dummy, I picked the wrong letter. There's only so many prefixes,
That's right. Yep. I don't really have anything, just other than to say good evening and laid back this evening and resting up. I've been pressure washing all day on a deck.
You getting in preparation for paint or preservative?
No, just trying to get rid of the grunge. I do it every couple of years, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have your own pressure washer or do you rent one?
No, I've got one.
Some of those high powered ones, man, people get I remember the first time I saw somebody use one of those on their home. It was almost hilarious. It was an older home, was probably built in the 50s, and it was a stucco. It was down in Florida, and we didn't realize. He didn't realize because it wasn't me doing it. He didn't realize that he probably shouldn't have used a pressure washer. He was just trying to clean the house, prepare it for painting. He started the pressure washer, and he must have peeled off 500 square feet of paint.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, I've got a little electric one that is kind of portable, and I can drag it up the steps pretty easy. It takes longer, but it doesn't cut the deck boards in half.
Well, yeah, that's one of the. I think that's the. You have to be careful anytime you have something like that because it can actually do damage. And if for instance we say, well, I like to clean stuff with a pressure washer like an outside of a house, you can say, well, you got to be careful because you can drive water into places you don't want to drive it into.
Yep, I'm sure you can. Well, we're still in the midst of our remodel over here, but the guys took the weekend off, although I think they're going to come back Monday. So they did call me today, and they said, you know that tile you picked out for the bathroom? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, would white work?
Obviously, whatever you wanted wasn't available.
Yeah. About 2 months ago, we picked out just plain ordinary beige sand colored tile, and guy goes to get it, and they don't have any.
Wow, that's pretty odd that they wouldn't have. That seems like pretty common. I know which color you're talking about, or approximately.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised too. I think he's going to keep looking, and it ought to be around somewhere. But we're not changing. Everything we got is kind of that bone color.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, it does make a difference. I mean, the problem with just white is that it looks like it's a spec home. It's generic, you know.
It looks like an operating
room. Yeah, that's right. It would, or a morgue.
Yeah, not yet. All right. Well, carry on. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you later. I do need to get with you though. Shoot, what I need. I figured since you know most everything, and since you were in the Navy, you might know if there's a place where you can find a chronological list of a World War II carrier, the Bonhomme Richard, I think as they called it. My father-in-law flew a bunch of sorties off of that carrier during World War II, and I'd love to be able to track where he was.
Ah, I have done a little bit of that before, and you can actually I have to get the information for you, but you can get the deck logs of what, and I don't know about carriers because their deck logs would be pretty intense. It would tell where the ship had been, that's for sure. But sometimes the deck logs of a bridge do not carry, like what the flight deck operations are. It'd be a different group. That's the aviation group.
Yeah, well, he was, of course, a Navy pilot, and he was involved in developing night landings and takeoffs from carriers in the South Pacific, and he was quite the pilot even before the war. So. And afterwards. But anyway, we just thought it'd be fun to find out where he was.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll see if I can dig up some stuff for you. And I got lots of resources in my wide collection of friends and acquaintances and shipmates in the Navy. So I might be able to get you something. But no, it's fascinating. Especially those deck landing stuff. We did some of that with the USS Coral Sea over there in Vietnam, and we rode behind them for I forget a couple of weeks, while they would be in flight operations, and we'd be behind them in case pilots had to eject and pick them up. But watching flight operations at night is amazing because here the only thing that's lit is that main deck. And the guys are coming in the sheer darkness, just looking for that spot of white deck, the deck lights in the middle of the ocean. So it's quite fascinating to watch. Anyway, yeah, hats off to your dad for his participation because That's you got to have I'll just say nerves of steel to do that kind of stuff out at sea.
Yeah, his father-in-law actually. But anyway, yeah, if you run across anything, I'd love to try to track where he was. Alrighty, well, have a good evening. I've monopolized it enough. WB0 and OA.
Okay, one more question. I presumed you looked on some of the operations of the Bonham Richard on Wikipedia? Because sometimes they tell what the general operations were.
Yeah, I have. I have some. Maybe not as in depth as is available, but I learned there have been like 4 Bonhomme Richards.
Yeah, I think the first one was Sailcraft, to be sure. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, yeah. They lovingly refer to it as the Bonnie
Dick. That's funny. I guess that's better than the good Richie.
Yeah, I guess so. Or, well, never mind.
I got you. All right, very good. That was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar, and on Memorial Day, tracking down some activities of an aircraft carrier, and his father-in-law is working as a pilot, as a aircraft pilot off of an aircraft carrier. All right, very good, Mark. Who else we got? Where was I? North of Mount Juliet.
KN4, BTW.
Hey, how you doing tonight there? I think your name in a second. Colt. How can I forget that?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. Yeah, Colt. I'll tell it for you. Colt is working at the Boy Scout camp this summer for how many weeks?
I get to spend 6 weeks living in a tent in the hottest part of the year. Oh, what a fun time.
Well, it's not really the heat that's going to kill you. It's all them critters and mosquitoes and bugs, unless you got good netting in the tent.
Not really. I mean, I could go get some, but where's the fun in that? It's just the canvas tents, Army-style canvas tents on a wooden platform. But I spent the whole summer out there last year and loved every second of it. Absolutely worth it. So I've signed up to do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Like I told you, I used to do a lot of camping when I was young. I think I added it up and I forget what the numbers are, but between the camping my parents did with me, which was 3 weeks a year, and then the Boy Scout camping, which was another maybe 6-8 weeks a year total. So it was I really grew up loving camping, and I haven't done any. I went out and let's see, 9 years ago in 2010, I went and spent a couple of weeks in the Adirondack Mountains, and that was fun.
Man, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many nights I've been camping. I started in the first grade as a Cub Scout, and now here I am, I'm a Boy Scout. I'm so close to Eagle. In fact, I have my Eagle Scout Board of Review at some point in the next few weeks. That's the last thing I need. So within the next month, I should even be an Eagle Scout. And I've been camping since the beginning. It's been a lot, but I love it.
Oh yeah, no, it teaches a lot of self support, to do things yourself and to figure out how to do things. That's what's great about the Boy Scouts. It always taught self-reliance and being prepared, which, as you know, is the Boy Scout motto: be prepared. And that's also true. We don't say it that way, but ham radio should have the same motto. It's be prepared.
Well, in a way, that's kind of the point of ham radio, is to be prepared in the event of an emergency or anything else happening. We will be the last line of communication.
Yeah, aside from just screaming.
Well, that gets you nowhere.
That's right. All right, very good. We got Colt. He's getting ready to go out to the woods, out to the Boy Scout camp, and for 6 weeks working there, supporting the other campers out there. They come out all through the summer. And his call is Kilo November 9, Bravo, Tango Whiskey. Who else north? Please come down. It's good to have you in there, Cole.
W4DBV.
Hey, you stayed up for me, man.
Yeah, I did. I managed it. I was doing something, looked up at the clock, and said, oh, boy, I'm awake in time. So it's good to hear everybody. And I'm watching you streaming as well. So I really enjoyed our get-together at the restaurant today. I'd encourage more people to come up and join in on the, I guess this is the fourth Saturday. But anyway, lots of fun, and it's good to see everybody. W4DBV.
Yeah, very good, Brian. Yeah, you're you got a little bit of static in there too. I swear the low signals tonight are. Like I said, it sounds like high voltage wire, noises is what it sounds like.
Funny thing, I thought you were a little weak too by about an S unit. I'm running 50 watts out of this thing full power, so that's all I can do. And it may be that the foliage has a lot of moisture in it. The leaves are all out, etc. I don't know.
No, you're doing good though. I mean, you're bumping up against S5 if you were looking at it on the video. So you're doing great. Anyway, there was Brian, Whiskey 4 Delta Bravo Victor. He is in Northwest Wilson. Decent signal for his somewhat limited antenna system. Who else we got? North, please come now. All right, late check-ins. North, south, east, or west, please come now.
W4AWE.
Okay.
Hold on, John.
Doing well. We're lollygagging over here on Rugby tonight. Just barely made it in. But good to hear all of you on here, and hope all of you are having a good weekend, and we'll have a good long extended weekend. Want to say thank you for your service to our country, to all of you out there who have served.
Yeah, very good, Mary. Yeah, it's I always feel a little awkward when people tell me that, because while it was different than civilian life, I'll tell you that much. And working on a Navy ship for 3.5 years, it was also one of the best experiences a guy could have, traveling around the world and learning stuff. That's really what I did a lot of. I learned so much about myself and so much about other peoples in around 35 different countries. And so when people say thank you, I feel like saying, no, thank you for paying my way around the world.
That's great. Well, that does go both ways, I guess. It is an experience. I know Marty's dad was in the Navy as well, and he has lots and lots of stories to tell, and has a book that one of his shipmates wrote that we might get a copy to you one of these days. You might enjoy reading that. But he was on the ship for 4 years, on LST 224, and was in 5 battles. So he was back in World War II.
Yeah, I tell you, the guys, I often look back on that. And I was in Vietnam, but we did not have the kind of warfare they had in World War II. In World War II, it was much more intense, much more dangerous, much more enemy aircraft and much more enemy, ships. So it was really it was horrible. I mean, we lost a lot of men and a lot of ships in World War II. So, and a lot of airplanes to boot. So, yeah. And Marty had told me about his dad, and that was pretty neat stuff. That somebody survives that mess.
It really is miraculous that a lot of them got back home after all of that war and all the violence and everything they went through, and that they served, and they paid for our freedom that we have today, that we enjoy. So I'm grateful to all of those people, men and women everywhere, and I hope all of you have a good rest of the weekend. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Marty. You all take care, and we'll talk to you hopefully on Wednesday night.
All right, very good. I hear you in there, Marty. I can hear you breathing.
Okay. KD4BQK.
So you're going to have a good weekend? Are you guys going to be grilling or barbecuing or picnicking or doing something?
Yeah, we can all barbecue.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be a nice but hot weekend from what I can see today.
Yeah, I used to like to hear my father tell those old war stories.
Oh yeah, no, it's you know what I got. Well, you said their book does the book title have something about that LST in it, that 224?
Yeah, that's it. The book. They have people. What they did, they had each person write something in the book, and what they did, and then they put it all together as one book, and that's how I know all about all the people.
Ah, okay, I got you. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to look that up. Maybe if I can find it on Amazon, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, those LSTs were very important to the war, obviously. a friend of mine works on the one of those LSTs that's still active. That they, we used as a traveling memorial, and it's still able to go out and about. It's out of Ohio somewhere. I forget where in Ohio right now, but yeah, those are pretty neat ships.
Yes, it was a big help for the United States to have those. It was hard.
Well, and it's well, just as a kind of an aside to that, that's central to that idea. I have met people who served in, let's say, just non-combat something. There might have been somebody who served as a trainer in boot camp, or they were a corpsman in stateside offices. But what I'm getting at is we tend to honor those who served in these really intense operations somewhere, and when in fact everybody plays a part in that, because even those on the front lines can't operate alone. They need the support of the rest of the troops or they can't survive. And so it all hinges on the teamwork of everybody, no matter what your job is. If you're a cook in Fort Dix, you were part of the war effort. You're part of the military, and you can't make it insignificant.
Mary said that is so true.
Yeah, you don't want to minimize someone's service just because it seems like a low-level job, because every job had to be filled, and somebody has to fill it. And I can't imagine, you take the choice, if you had a choice, let's say those guys who lost their lives in Normandy, getting off the landing craft and attacking the beach. And if they had a choice, I would have been a cook in New Jersey, but they actually sacrificed their lives for their other crewmen who did make it. So it wasn't, it was I say it's a sacrifice that was worth it to the entire effort. But it doesn't really minimize what all the other people have done, whether it's the guy operating the boat and driving it, or the guy supporting it, or every job has an important element to it.
Yeah, coxswain and all of the. I had a friend who was a coxswain, and he got hurt at it was in the South Pacific.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, everything is important in a war effort. But anyway, appreciate you being in there. I'm going to look up that book, by the way, Marty, that LST 224 book, and maybe I can learn something there. I always learn something when I read somebody else's stuff. And Mary, appreciate you being there. It was Mary, Kilo Delta 4, Oscar Echo November, and Marty, Kilo Delta 4, Bravo, Quebec Kilo, and they're in Belshire. And John, I hear you in there, W4AWE.
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
Well, I'm doing just fine, kind of. Just recovering from my 2 weeks of just, I don't know what you call it. I never had that happen before in my life. Two key people who live with you all of a sudden pass away.
Yeah, it's got to be strangely disorienting, especially being two people that, you were involved daily and hourly with caring for. It's like suddenly being untethered.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. It was all of a sudden. I jokingly said to my wife. She said, "Somebody, what are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "Whatever we feel like now."
Yeah. Even go out of your way to make something to do.
Well, it's a bittersweet thing. I mean, they both had long, productive lives, raised decent families. They were decent people, and they had a good life. You hate to see it come to an end, but they all do. And one was 95, and the other one was 91. And in fact, I was reading through my mother's notes. She kept a diary, and I was reading through it, and she didn't get very. It was the one thing that was interesting in that, and it was it was an odd observation. Not she didn't make the odd observation. I went with her the day that she got diagnosed with cancer in November, and then when she said that in there, I got the notice that I have bladder cancer. It was just a very curt statement. And then she didn't put anything in the diary for 4 weeks before she started writing something again, which she'd never do.
Yeah, well, that's a long time to just be processing something that hits you like that. Well, you're right about the positives that, long lives. And the other thing that was really good in retrospect. You know, you'll see it better the more time goes by, is that you and your wife both had a chance to spend all that time with them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I miss that really, because I would be trying to fill something in on our ancestry, and I was doing that stuff on ancestry.com, and I'd have a question. I can't ask her anymore, and that's the problem. There's some missing pieces still, and I got nobody else to ask.
Yeah, I mean, it's disorienting is really the feeling right now, and but it'll go away slowly.
Oh yeah, no, I'm confident it will. We're handling it pretty well. We even every day though we even comment to each other, boy, it seems so strange to me, because even as we walk by their rooms and doing certain things, and even now here it's been almost 2 weeks after my mother-in-law died, and it's been only since Monday since my mom died, and I still have some things in the refrigerator that she liked. That she loved cranberry juice, she loved orange juice, she loved cottage cheese, and there's still some of that stuff in there. I thought, oh my gosh! Every time I look in the refrigerator, I think about her, because I don't normally eat, the the cranberry juice or the cottage cheese. So it's just kind of funny that you don't realize how many things are still out there that we did for her, that she liked. I didn't necessarily, because I wanted to buy it for her. It's just funny how all that stuff gets integrated into your life.
Yeah, that was a major part of both of your lives, and there, I mean, under the same roof, which is, something that the good part is most people don't get to experience that, but the thing that's most disorienting is suddenly there's this doubly empty house.
Oh yeah, no question about it. It's even when I think about what I'm going to do, I even thought of something before the net tonight. I said, well, I got to do. And normally during the net, my mother wouldn't remember I was on the net, and she'd call out for me, and my wife would answer the call, to respond to her. I was always thinking about what my schedule, how it would impact her, and what she needed. And I even remind her sometimes before I got on the air. So listen, I'm going to be on the air for an hour. So if you need something, call me. But if it's just something, you need a glass of water, hang on.
Yeah, another thing that's nice, for somebody like me on the outside looking in is both of those mothers were lucky to have had both of you all.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, in this day and age, it seems to be the minority of those kind of things happen. A lot of people it is easier to stick them in a nursing home, but I don't think it's better, because even the best of nursing homes is just their employees. And my mother was in a rehab center a couple, 3 years ago before I brought her here for a couple, 3 weeks. And it was a nice place, but she'd say to the aide, listen, can I get this? It's something that was pretty routine. Can you get this? And it was, I'm going on break, and walk off.
Yeah, my mom spent the last year in a nursing home, and the thing that really did make a difference was the fact that the staff knew they were going to see me every night, or sometimes unexpectedly during the day, and it sort of changed the attitude of the whole place. It kept everybody on their toes.
Yeah, I hope it would. Yeah, and again, she could have been in a nursing home, but we didn't want to do that. I just knew that it wasn't the best thing for her, and I think she knew it too. She said she was prepared to do it if it became too rough, and that was the reason ultimately why I put her in hospice for a few days, because it was really getting intense medically and as far as cleanliness goes. And and it worked out. I did expect it to work out this way after 5 days at the hospice, but we expected after 5 days to probably move her to a nursing home so she could get more intense care than I can give her. But it didn't work out that way. I mean, nobody, well, the deal. Nobody knows the day of their demise, and so I had no idea at all. It just worked out that way, and it wasn't what I would have planned, and it just but then again, the reason I handled it reasonably well is because I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when, and I knew that she was declining, and again, I still didn't know when. So anyway, all right, John, enough about my crazy my world of losing 2 people in 1 week. So okay. I appreciate the comments from everybody, though. I really do. Like I said, it's kind of like Freud's talking cure. I mean, I get to talk about it and talk to other people and commiserate with me and give comfort and some advice, which nobody's ever given me dumb advice yet. All right, John. Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. He is in Bellevue. Good signal. Good. Appreciate talking to me, John. Who else we got? West? Anybody? Or late check-ins, really?
AR4AZ. What's going on, Paul?
Hey, how are you doing tonight, Tim?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Just got back in a little bit ago myself. Sound like you're keeping burning the candle at both ends tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that it was a holiday weekend, and I was kind of expecting to have lower than normal numbers, but yeah, there's people are still out there. There's probably some people taking off. In fact, I know a couple that have. But yeah, no, it's nice to hear people on the air.
They check in.
All right, hold on a sec. We got Tim. Hold on, I think that's Dennis. Is that you, Dennis?
Roger. Sorry, I missed it tonight. I got my granddaughter at the house.
All right, hang on. I got Tim on the horn here, as they say in the old world. So you had a good weekend there, Tim?
No, pretty good so far. Yeah, it's been busy. But we'll get the rounded up for tomorrow for church and everything. And of course, being retired, Memorial Day is always special for our troops, everything. But it's not the same when you're not working. You got to say, well, it's you don't see it as a holiday as much because I'm off anyway. It takes the special part of it out again.
Oh yeah, it does. Like they say, every day is Saturday when you're retired, but at the same time, there is work. There's things that got to be done even though you're retired. It's not as if you're 100% retired, just sitting around watching television.
Only this house remodel. It seemed like I'm busier now. I wasn't working, but it's kind of strange and funny too. I was able to keep up with so many things and work too because I'd make myself do it. I've got to knock this out because I got to go to work Monday. Blah blah. Mindset. Now I kind of look at it and go, I can do that. You put things off more, kind of. I'll do that later. That's the way it goes. All right, Paul. I know you got people lining up. Traffic. You're gonna have a traffic jam too long, so I'll let you get back at it. Appreciate you, bro. You take care. Everybody have a great night. KR4AC clear.
Yeah, very good, Tim. Yeah, the only problem when you're working for yourself or you're working for your wife is that your boss is usually worse there than it is when you get a real job.
Yeah, I'm glad you went in here to hear that. I know what you mean. Sometimes, and the benefits aren't the same. The insurance costs more and so on and so forth. So anyway, but it's all good.
Yeah, that's right. Customers are always right until you work at your wife's direction. All right, very good, Tim. And Dennis, I heard you in there. No, you're right in there. We were just taking late checking. Yo, Dennis. Well, Dennis checked in and then he checked out. He's just not there right now. Dennis, you out there?
KG4MIC.
Hey, man, you've been a stranger this week. Where you been, man?
I've been doing a lot of this and that and this. And really not doing too much of anything, but, just not really doing any radio and more of whatever else I was doing. I can't even tell you what I was doing, Paul, because it wasn't that exciting. Everything going well over here, over on your end?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it is. It's really quiet around here, except for that big, dumb, old English sheepdog I got here. He's the noisiest dog and the most anxiety-ridden, goofy dog I've ever owned.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Well, shoot. He's on his last legs. It won't be long. So you'll pick him up off his booty to wipe his butt. It won't be wrong. It won't be long.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm glad you reminded me because he will drop his load out in the yard, and then in the process of doing that, because his back legs aren't too strong, he falls back in it, and so his entire butt is like a pancake of dog duty. And so I pick him up very carefully. Sometimes it's not so pretty. And I get him over to the stairs, and he gets his front two paws on the stairs. And I take the garden hose, and I got to hose his butt. I have to hose his entire backside off. So I got to get that on video so everybody can enjoy the problems I have.
Well, there you go. That's what you need. Video it. Win you 10,000 off of the funniest home video, because that ought to be pretty funny. I tell you what, I have been doing stuff, Paul. I just got back from a graduation party. They'd thrown a graduation party for the two graduates, Samantha and Elijah. They threw them a birthday or a graduation party and whatnot. You know, was out there for most of the day this morning or this afternoon, and went to a couple of different graduations through the week, and you know, just heck, well, I guess that was probably the most exciting I've done so far. You know, between the last time we spoke.
Cool. Who graduated?
Samantha, my daughter, and my grandson, Elijah. Well, he's my step grandson.
Okay, cool. That's great. I hope it went better. My son's graduation, I may have told you this before. My son's graduation in Tampa, they graduated at the convention. So it wasn't not convention center. It was at the arena. It was a large sports arena. Because it had a class of like 700 people or something. But anyway, and then they meet outside in this large common area out on the next to the center, and it was at night, and you know, you never expect to go to graduation and there's a stabbing, and that's what happened. There was a stabbing, some dispute between people, and the cops showed up at a post-graduation ceremony, and it wasn't pretty.
I reckon not. Goodness gracious, you wouldn't expect that to happen, especially on that night. But I guess if you ain't going to see the fella no more, you're going to go ahead and take him out, stab him up, and wish him well. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I better let you go. Get on with it there. I was trying to check in over there at that party, man. I had my little HT with me, my little ICOM HT. I didn't bring no other antenna except that stupid little whip, you know. But I was trying. I tried a couple of different times. I heard you talking to Scott, I think it was, or maybe it was John. I think it was John, the first contact, and then you talked to somebody else. And I was trying in between both of them. I was like, Casey Flurry was it, and you never did hear me.
I may have heard something because there was a couple of bumps in there that I didn't know what it was, and I just presumed it was somebody doubling, and it was apparently you.
Yeah, I was way the heck out there by Cedars Forest, way out there where Earl lives, out that way. But not on that road, but on the road across the way there, 231. Hell, I don't know, it's probably about 10 miles from town, I guess.
I got you. Well, I'm glad you had a good time, and congratulations to the kids who graduated. Hope they move on to bigger and better things. All right, that was Kevin, KG4MIZ, and he is in just a little bit west of downtown Lebanon. Dennis, are you still out there? Well, Dennis had emergency evacuation, apparently. All right, anybody else late check-ins, please come now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No more late check-ins? Any place, anywhere? All right, not even lollygaggers, sandbaggers, lurkers, etc. Hey, yeah. How you doing, Danny? You had to come in after I said sandbaggers, huh?
Yep, that's me. I actually just cut off the highway.
You've got some great static in there tonight, I'll tell you right now. I got you earlier, but now I can't hear anything. You must be in a bad spot on your mobile. Yeah, you're not picket fencing. It sounds like you're driving through a picket fence. It's horrible.
I'm sorry, again?
No, your signal was horrible. We were picket fencing so bad I couldn't hear a word you said, but now I just heard you when you said say again.
Yeah, sorry about that. There's a stop sign there a minute ago. So I won't hold it. I just wanted to do a quick check-in while I heard you.
Very good. That was Whiskey Echo 4 Echo, and that's Danny, and he's normally in Henderson. Where are you tonight, mobile?
Well, I just got off. I'm in Hendersonville right now, and I just got off 65 coming down from Kentucky.
Ah, okay. In Hendersonville, coming back from Kentucky. Very good. Good to have you in there, Danny. That's Danny Whiskey Echo 4 Echo Mobile. We had several mobile stations tonight. Anybody else late check-ins? Last chance before we move on. All right. We won't ask for the SDR donglers or the preppers tonight. They're sleeping. Well, all right, we'll move on to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle. Anybody got anything to sell? Please come in. Well, I know John had something to sell. It was the FT 991, which is a nice radio, $750. You can contact him directly right through the web, through QRZ. I don't hear him now, but are you still there, John?
Yeah, I just walked out of the room. Yeah, it's Dave and him. This is special 700.
Okay, $700 going once, going twice. Somebody needs to buy that. That's an outrageously nice price for that radio, which is essentially a new inbox radio, 991 FT 991. Beautiful radio, and that's John Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and you can see his email on QRZ. Anybody else got anything to sell? All righty. Anybody got any things they want to buy? You got a laundry list of things you want. Is there anything you're looking for special? All righty. Well, let's move over then to the sideband portion of the net. I don't expect to have a big crowd. We did have 24, which I was shocked there was that many. Our average seems to be in that number. Like I said, I don't keep accurate statistics, although I do keep lists. I'll have to go through those and see what that works out to be over the last year or so. But anyway, we had 24, which is astounding to me. Appreciate everybody who checked in. And we'll move over now. So 73s on the 2-meter portion, and well, the 2-meter FM portion. And we're moving over to the 2-meter sideband portion on 144.240. We'll see you there, K4P. This is K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Net on 144.240. Please come now from the north. If there's anybody out north. All right, from the west, please come down.
W4AWA.
Ah, great signal there, John. You sound really strong tonight. I wasn't looking at the meter, but it sure was loud. Who else we got in there west of Mount Juliet? Please come in. All righty, south of Mount Juliet, south of I-40, please come in.
KR4AZ.
Another nice, strong signal there, Tim. Sound great. You copying Tim pretty good up there, John?
Tell him to try again.
Yeah, try again, Tim. I'm going to throw your call out there again, please.
Yeah, hi, John. KR4AZ. Yeah, I can just barely read him. He's down in there, but copyable.
Okay, he's down in Murfreesboro. I don't know why he's really good to me, but Murfreesboro is very good to me in both FM and in sideband. So apparently there's other obstructions between you and him. All right, who else we got south? Please come in. Anybody to the east? Please come in.
KG4, Muzzy.
Hey, appreciate you being there, man. I needed to round off with at least 4, maybe 5 tonight. How you doing, Kevin?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm, I'm surviving the best I can.
Yeah, I got you. Are you copying those other stations, Tim and John?
Yeah, I heard both of them.
Okay, very good. How about you, John? Were you able to hear Kevin over in Lebanon?
No, I don't have a copy on Kevin.
No, I'm surprised that you don't, because you can normally copy him on FM, do you not?
Yeah, usually it's strange. I don't know what's happening tonight.
All righty, very good. How about you, Tim? You copying Kevin over there in Lebanon?
Oh yeah, I've got a good copy on Kevin.
All right, very good. Just want to be sure. Yeah, you all sound good. Is there any other check-ins, north, south, east, or west on this portion of the net?
got double for a minute.
Go ahead. Was there a double in there?
Yeah, it was me. I was just saying, I said I had a good copy on Kevin. I've got a good copy on John audio. Not much in on the signal, but his audio is real good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's funny how things change, and particularly in the sideband portion of the things. And everybody's copying me well, I take it?
Right.
Yeah, I got a good copy on you.
And was there another station? Anybody can hear that? Please come again. Is there another station, Whiskey Echo 4 Echo? I mean, could you hear another station, Danny?
I can.
Say again, please. I'm copying very poorly. Please come now. Check-ins for the 144-240. I heard a station very weakly. Please come now.
Yeah, I heard him. It sounded like he's on frequency.
Yeah, it did to me. I was trying to wheel around on the VFO to see if I can nail him, but I'd like them to say it again. Please come again, please. Station that hasn't been acknowledged. I heard a K4, and say that again, please. Very good. Yeah, you're for some reason off frequency. Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Papa. Appreciate you being there. Yeah, I caught you somewhere around on my rig. It's around 144 239 or so. Did you copy? Well, give your call out again, John. If you'd move around down to that area, maybe you can hear him good there. Yeah, it's 144 240, and there's going to be some slight differences in the frequencies on this. But John, are you copying him? Okay. All right. Well, I got you checked in there. Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Papa. I'm glad you're in there, Jesse. And yeah, we'll just, like I said, you have to sometimes wheel around and tune in to where everybody else is. It's not right, usually not right on 144 240 for some of us anyway. So appreciate you being there. That was a grand total of 6 though. So we actually nailed it pretty good. And you being mobile, and which rig are you using in the car mobile there, Danny? Oh yeah, very good. Well, it's doing a good job for you mobile. So very good. Any other check-ins, please come in. All righty. Well, then what I'll do is I'll finish off. I'm a little unlike on 144 240.10 or so. And anyway, this is K4PEW, and I had John Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and he's over there in Bellevue, and Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu. Tim down in Murfreesboro, and Kilo Golf 4 Mike India Zulu in Lebanon. And Danny Whiskey Echo 4 Echo, and he's mobile. So we had a big total tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 check-ins. And also I forgot to mention Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Papa with a signal a little low, but it's still in there good. Appreciate you being there, Jesse. And so that's a grand total of 6. I'm shocked, really. And good to have you in there. Any other questions or concerns? All righty, we'll close that portion of the net down and catch everyone later. Appreciate your participation and hope to hear you next Saturday on this portion of the net. K4PEW closing the net.
Thanks, Mo. You have a good night. KR4AZ, clear.
Yep, have a good night, guys. 73. Appreciate you being there.